Welcome back to Trading Unfiltered with my boy Sellers. This is Tatted. We are here to talk about some normalcy in a chaotic thing that we do. And man, what a week it's been on Twitter.
I know, man. It's been wild.
The Atlas Gate, the gates have opened. It has been phenomenal to see. But anyway, chaos aside, craziness aside, we wanted to talk about some normalcy in the day to day and break up this chaotic environment and talk about how we prepare for each day and how we go into each day and hope the markets agree with us. So, yeah, man, let's do this freaking intro thing.
All right, hit it.
Atlas Gate. That was some good stuff.
I know, man. I had a good time talking about it.
Love to see it. Love to see it. For those of you that don't know, actually, you know what? I say that you probably know. If you're here hearing about trading, you probably know about Atlas. So I'll just leave that there.
Yeah.
Anyway, that aside, yeah, we wanted to talk about some normalcy and how we routine ourselves to get ready for each day, change it up a little bit. And again, we're going to keep it super real, super raw, because I'm going to tell you right now, in the mornings, I ain't doing no ice baths. I ain't doing any saunas, no yoga, no meditating. I wish I could, maybe. It might up my trading to a whole nother level, but I don't do any of that. Right? Like, I got kids. You got kids.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, I'm not doing any of that either, man. I mean, my mornings are pretty hectic, as you know. Same with yours.
Yeah, we'll be texting each other in the mornings and trying to read texts and juggle kids and getting ready and prep. So I'm just going to kick this off with my morning starts like this. Obviously, on a good day, right? On a good day. If I'm feeling good, nothing crazy going on at home, I would like to get up around 4 and go to the gym, right? I think that's a good time to clear your head, get your jitters out. I feel better after I go to the gym. Some mornings I get to do that. Some mornings I don't. It just depends on what's going on in the household. But if I can knock that out, awesome. But usually once I get home or I get to the computer, it's usually around 6:30. Markets for me open at 8:30. So it gives me 2 hours of prep, which sounds awesome. But to keep it real, that ain't how it goes. Usually around about 6:30, 6:15, 6:30, I'm putting one kid on the bus. Then I'm coming back to the screens, trying to do some prep work. Then I'm getting another kid up at 7 to get him ready for school and get him on the bus at, here's the kicker, 8:20, 10 minutes before market open. So I'm literally putting him on the bus, and after I get him on the bus, I am in a dead sprint back to my house, like dead sprint. But in that chaotic time frame, I have come to develop a structure, which I think is what's important in all this, right? Like, regardless of your morning and what you can and can't control, you can try to create some sort of structure or time for you to prep, because if you come into these markets unprepared, you're done.
No doubt.
You're gonna lose. You're gonna lose. Every time I've come to the markets unprepared or got into a stock without doing my prep work for levels and filings and all the different things, is a loss. You can chalk that up to a loss every time. My journal is filled with journal entries of loss due to no prep. I got a lot of that. So yeah, in the mornings, I just do the best I can, man. Like usually from about 6:30 to 7:30, I get a good hour to start creating a watch list, right? Pulling up the day one gappers, running through my scans. And then from there, I'll pick the best one, start looking at filings, picking out levels. So really, on a good morning, I have about an hour of prep, uninterrupted prep, maybe, on a good morning. So it's tough.
I mean, and that's bare minimum. You got to have that much.
Yeah, like it takes a long time to, I always have the stocks I'm looking at. I'm looking at certain time. I'm always looking at the 2-day, 15-day, hourly, daily, thinking about my screens. I'm looking at the different levels that I like that interest me, where I may take a position. I'm looking at filings, all the fundamentals. I'm setting my alerts. It takes time. That whole hour is utilized to the best of my abilities, because if I don't, I will lose every single day, because my mornings are hectic. And I think a lot of people who trade, whether they trade full time or part time, many of those people are in school, have a job, have kids, whatever. So like these people you see that have all this time to do cool stuff like yoga, meditation, and saunas, and what, like, that's, in my opinion, very uncommon. I think the morning prep that we deal with is much more common.
No doubt, dude. No doubt.
So, that's kind of my thing. With the kids, it's tough. But like I said, I've created a structure to where usually from about 6:30 to 7:30, I'm largely uninterrupted. And then really like at 7:30, which is an hour before market open, my watch list is made and ready to go, which can be good and bad. Bad because anything that really happens from 7:30 till open, I'm not really prepared for. So like a late day gapper, or a late morning gapper, I should say, I might not be prepared for that, because I can't. I'm getting my kid ready. I got to get them on they're more important than what I'm doing. So
100%.
You got to keep that in perspective. So you just have to do what works for you. So a lot of times if it's a late 10-minute before open gapper, probably not going to trade it because I haven't prepared for it. And if I do trade it, I'm probably going to lose on it. Typically. So that's my morning, man. But I know yours can be equally hectic, sometimes more, because you are a dude that runs and guns on the go, freaking phone sniper over here. So I'm gonna let you dig into that, because me personally, if I try to trade on my phone on the go, I've talked about it with you. It's very rare that I trade from my phone. Like if I'm not here, I just feel like I'm so I just can't do it, man. You're amazing at that though.
I mean, I kind of got my start trading on the phone just because I always worked so much. And, I'm still doing work now, but not as much as I was. And I used to work out of town a lot. So for me, it was just a must. I had to have the ability to trade on my phone. And, it started with like the whole Robinhood thing, like about 4 years ago. But, now, I was doing it on my phone with TradeZero, but Cobra with the DAS app, whatever you want to call it, the app is great. I've usually got one phone for watching the chart, and the other one for executions and watching time and sales. And
this blows my mind. So say that again. When you told me this, I'm like, holy crap.
Well, so I've got the one phone for watching charts, and the other phone is for executing orders and time and sales. So
you're looking at level 2 on one phone, time and sales, executing, and then literally on the other phone, you're looking at the chart.
Yeah, and this one is crazy. This one, when I'm, because I still do some welding work, and a lot of times I'll have one in my front pocket, and I just leave it unlocked all day, and so it'll get this welding spatter and stuff all over it, like you can see right here. But, and I got this one just for charts. But I'll have charts on this one sometimes, but that's how my day goes when I kind of got ahead of myself. That's how my day goes with that. I just wanted to say that part. In the morning times, I'm usually waking up about 4:35 our time. We're in the South here. I come in here to my office room and pull up DAS and pull up. Here lately, I've been using Thinkorswim. I'll have my
Thinkorswim for the win.
That's right. You've gotten me on Thinkorswim. I used to
love them.
I used to not use them as much. I used to use TradingView more, but I like Thinkorswim. But I'll pull up my trade ideas scanner. I'll usually write stuff down. I carry a little notebook around with me too, and I'll have stocks that I want to watch that day. if I'm not going to be here, if I'm going to be trading mobile. And I'll just put them in a little watch list. I use Webull on the phone because, in my opinion, it's, as far as for charting on the phone, it's the best, in my opinion.
I've heard you say that I've heard that a few times from other people too.
Yeah, man. Even that dude Phil on Twitter,
Big dog.
Yeah, man.
Big
He even likes it. So if he likes it, then you know it's got to be good.
Right.
I mean, and I've got a little bit of money in there that I've traded with, but I mean, you know, I'm pretty much just use Cobra for all executions. But anyway, so yeah, I'll have that on the phone, watch it all day. Pretty much I'm always looking at the markets. But that's how I do it when I'm not at home. You know, sometimes I'm doing jobs, man. I might be up in a JLG lift, 200 feet in the air, making a trade, and then
crazy
doing some welding or something, or I might just be hanging out in the living room and decide to get on my phone and do it. But most of the time, the days that I'm home, when I'm in my office here trading, it's a lot easier. My wife's really good with my son. You know, she takes him to school in the morning and all that, and she doesn't work, so I've got all the time in the world to map out levels and sit here, you know, for days.
I'm a little jealous.
Yeah, I mean, it's a little easier for me with that, but most of the time it's hectic. So
yeah,
you know, it's not the same as you, but it's I don't know. I can't say it's better.
No, but I think the key is for everybody listening that we have both mentioned is, right, like we're both creating a watch list, right? Like regardless of our morning routines or your morning routines, whoever's listening's morning routines, they're all going to be different. You just have to find what works for you. And I think that also goes into the watch list, right? Like you got to create the watch list around your style of trading for whatever works for you, because we both know, right? Twitter. Everybody's going to call stuff out on Twitter. All the Discord rooms, aka the pump rooms. Like we just talked about Atlas Gate. Right? Like all these people put out calls in Discords, Twitter, stock twits everywhere. Right? And that can create FOMO. That can just get you all veered off of your own watch list. So I think what we're talking about, creating a watch list and just sticking to your plan, is I think a lot of people would be surprised how much their trading can improve if they just stick to their own watch list and their own plan versus following somebody else's call outs.
And that's something I was going to add on too, is my trading changed completely when during the day. I mean, I'll look at Twitter if I'm done trading, but I turn my Twitter notifications off, and I've got a few people I talk to in Discord. I talk to you, you know, but for the most part, I've got it's just me, and I'm watching my screens here, or I'm looking at my screen on my phone to trade, and I'm not worrying about anything else.
Yep, I think network is super important. I have nothing against close-knit Discord rooms with handfuls of people. That's a little bit different, right? And that's like you're bouncing legit ideas off people. But like when these big old rooms and Twitter with thousands of people, like that doesn't add much value in my opinion. Now I'm sure some people are going to come on here and like fight me, whatever. You know, if they're in a room with 3,000 people and they find some value add in that, more power to them. But I would disagree wholeheartedly.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, I don't know how they get any value out of it, but I don't know. I've always kind of been somewhat of a loner with my trading. So I feel like when I start screwing up is when I start listening to too many people during the day.
Yep, because there's people will put out watch lists, people will put out calls. It's easy to get FOMO if you're too wrapped up in social media, Discord, whatever. So usually the first half hour of the day, I'm off Twitter. I'll be on Discord, but I'm muting a lot of the rooms, right? Like just the closed network stuff is more what I'm about. Or like I said, the smaller groups I think is much more value add for me personally. That's just me. But I think just like we said, man, finding your whatever works for you, because what we do in the mornings is very different. we managed to make it work for us, and we stick to our plans, right? Like 3 key things.
Yep.
So in a chaotic environment, you can only control what you can control. That's all you can do, man.
I totally agree, man. It's different for everyone, and I think you just got to find what works for you.
Yep.
Like we said, ours are a lot different than each other's, but we make it work, and been making it work for a little while. So if we can do it, anybody can.
Exactly. If I can do it with 2 kids that I got to put on different buses at 2-hour time frames and get myself prepped, dude, I'm telling you, I'm running from my kid's bus stop back to my desk 5 minutes before open. And I'm sitting down. And sometimes if the bus is late, I look up at my little clock that I got here and like I got 30 seconds before open. And then there's also days where I've missed open because this bus is super late, and that's just part of it. It happens. But again, we can only control the controllables. I can't control when this bus is going to get here, whatever. But we just make it work. Anything else you want to add on our morning routines before we keep it moving?
No, man. I think I pretty much went over everything. We can do some more videos on people that are interested in trading off their phones and stuff. I know there's a lot. It's a taboo thing to talk about trading off your phones, but I mean, I've made a living trading off my phone at times. I mean, I'm trading more at my desk now, but there was times where I was working 60 hours a week and trading on my phone, making a lot more money trading. I mean, it's totally doable, and anybody that says, "Oh, don't do it," I mean, it's probably just because they don't know how to do it.
Yeah, there's definitely a way to do that. That's something I would like to get better at myself. Like I said, I'm
an advocate for it.
Yeah, I'm all about range orders, right? Like we've talked about that a lot. I love range orders, but I still would like to get better on the mobile so I can, do more stuff, not just sit here for 10 hours, 8 hours a day, whatever.
Right, man. I mean, you know how I am. I do all kind. I've got a bunch of other businesses that I run, and I'm used to it, and so it's helpful for me.
Yeah, we'll dig into that. I think on some future episodes, more into phone trading. I think we could do another episode in the future for watch list creation.
Yeah,
right? Like how we create a watch list, because I'm very meticulous with my watch list. There's certain things I will and won't trade, and then I grade setups A, B, C. Usually C's I just take off. I don't really, especially in this market, I don't even fool with them. So, I'm pretty meticulous with that process. I'm sure you are as well. So we could dig into that on future stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
But for now, kick off this new segment. Keep it short and sweet.
Yeah.
Check this out. Fancy stuff, brother. Fancy stuff.
Good. You did good with that one.
So look, I'm an avid reader, right? I like to read. I read a lot of books. I think there's a lot of value add to be had in books. So we talked and we're like, let's just throw out a book recommendation once a week. So this week's book recommendation is something it's my most recent read, but I've read it twice already. Probably read it a third time before the month is up. But this has been one of my favorite books. I'm usually not a super huge advocate of like psychology books because I think they're a little bit overrated. Like I think you got to have a strategy before you get into psychology pieces. So I think people that start with psychology books are missing the mark. That's my opinion. But this bad boy here, Best Loser Wins by this genius. This book has been one of the best quick reads that I've read in a long time. And it's a little more psychology based, right? You got to learn how to lose and do that effectively to win at a high level. That book is phenomenal. So for anybody listening, check that book out. I usually wouldn't advocate so highly for psychology based books. This one does both well. It's got some psychology pieces, some fundamental pieces, but it's good stuff right there.
Yeah, man, I enjoyed that one. I actually listened to it because, I mean, I don't read as much as you, and I'm trying to get better at it. So this will be a little challenge for me, too.
It's a quick read. This book, let's see, 250 pages, roughly. but it's quick read. He's got some charts in here. You know, you'll sit down. I've talked to guys that I've recommended this book to, and like 5 hours later, they're getting up and they're like, "Holy crap! I've already read 100 pages." Like, it'll fly.
Oh yeah.
But anyway, yeah, man. I start doing these book recommendations every so often because there's a lot of good books out there. I think that can add a lot of good value to a lot of people, especially for those that like to read. I love to read. Great book. Check it out. Amazon's like $20. Probably be the best $20 you spend in a month on trading.
Oh, without a doubt. Without a doubt. I mean, I got the audio book, but
Yeah, man.
I like this section, and this will be
Yeah.
good. This will be good for me because I've got to put my nose to the grindstone and start reading a little more.
Clears your head a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, that aside, kind of end this on one thing that we just started doing, last week?
Yeah.
Give or take.
Yep.
So we have kind of started working with a new company up and coming called Trade Anvil. They are on Twitter. Check them out. They are a journaling software company. They have given us access to their platform for a few weeks, kind of test them out, get a decent sample size in there.
Mm-hmm.
And they have been awesome with asking for our feedback, pros and cons, features we would look for them to add, just whatever feedback we would have. So I'm excited to say that I think our next episode we do is probably going to be around them, right? Like
Yep.
what their software is, what it's about, the good, the bad. You know, we'll keep it real. Like, I'm not going to recommend something that we don't like. But so far, I think they're doing some cool stuff. And I think journaling is, you got to get the watch list, you got to make the trades, and then you got to journal them things. You got to do them all. You can't leave any of those pieces off.
It's been a game changer for me just journaling like that because I journal all my trades by hand in a Google Sheets file, and so,
Which is it's cool. I mean, a lot of people do. I used to do that. I've started using software for time save, but some of these features they have are pretty cool, like the Edge Finder. We'll talk about it, right? Like,
yeah,
we're gonna dig into it.
So far, I like it. I mean, and it's definitely a lot easier and a lot more. I mean, the time saving thing for me is, I mean, that makes it worth it. You know.
Yep, because they're trying to integrate more and more brokers where you can just download the trade log, upload it, boom, it's in there, and then from there you can dig in and see stats and highlights, the good, the bad, all of it. Pretty cool. So
they've already got DAS, so works with Cobra.
All we need, right?
That's right.
So next week I think we'll roll out an episode talking more about Trade Anvil, but check them out. They're on Twitter. We will link their Twitter profile at the bottom of this video so you can check them out. I think they're doing 7-day trials for anybody, just so you can check them out. But check them out. Journaling is highly important. Can't recommend that enough. You got to do it.
Absolutely.
Well, brother, I think that's all I got for today.
That's all I got.
All right, y'all. Don't forget, Trading Unfiltered. Like, share, subscribe. Appreciate anybody that watches. Appreciate anybody that subscribes, supports. Please comment, give us feedback. We're new at this. We're probably bad at it, but like, we hope to get better. So hopefully some people can. Man, I mean, it's fun though. Like, I enjoy this. This is fun. This adds something different from what can be a monotonous kind of thing, right? Like trading, it's a zero-sum game. You can't win, right? Like, it goes on for forever. And I feel like with this, we're getting some form of accomplishment. So,
I look forward to this every week.
Yeah, man, it's fun. So anybody that watches this, like, give us feedback. What you like, don't like, whatever. Let us know.
What you think.
Yeah, like even if you want us to talk about certain things or features or whatever. Like, we want to help any way we can help. So anyway, next week, Trade Anvil, check them out. They're on Twitter. Obviously, we're on Twitter. Hit us up. Whatever. Any way you can support, cool. Watch us, cool. Anyway, I guess it's time for that outro.
Hit it.
Peace.
Peace.